Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, but I'm going to talk about everything else that's going on around crypto as well. So Binance, SEC strike deal to move all U.S. customer funds, wallet keys back to the U.S. A federal judge signed off on a temporary agreement between the U.S. SEC, global crypto exchange Binance, and its U.S. affiliate to have Binance US take steps to ensure only local employees can access customer funds as the regulator and companies work through an SEC lawsuit. And that's honestly a good thing. You know, if you're a crypto investor, you live in the US and you invest through Binance, you want those funds to stay right here at home. We don't need anybody else losing money in crypto. We've seen enough of that through FTX. Breaking, the fix is in. Feds quietly dropped 5 charges against Sam Bankman-Fried today. The rest will be plea bargained away, said a source close to the matter. Now, when you first look at this, you're like, oh, that's it. Sam Bankman-Fried is getting a free pass, right? Well, when you go on to look at the facts, it says something totally different. The current trial will proceed on schedule and will only include the original 8 charges listed in the extradition agreement with the former billionaire. However, Sam Bankman-Fried will still have to face the charges at a later date, as the severance will give the U.S. government enough time to iron out any issues with the Bahamas. So there you have it. Those charges are going to come back later. And I hope he does not get any kind of free pass. This guy needs to be in jail. He stole a lot of people's money. Breaking, GOP crypto maxis versus Dems anti-crypto army. You know what's going to be great about the 2024 election? We're going to see crypto talked about on the mainstream media news more than ever, because every pro-crypto politician is going to bring it up. Maybe even the anti-crypto politicians will bring it up as well. But it's not only Republicans that are pro-crypto. You also have Robert Kennedy, who's also pro-crypto. And it's nice to see that both sides of the aisle are, working together maybe in the future around crypto. But again, we are at a time where they want us out of crypto. That's what it comes down to. They don't want me or you holding cryptocurrencies, period. They think that we're not good enough to be holding them. They have way too much potential, way too much value. And, Elizabeth Warren understands crypto. And she had to come up with some way to crush it, to crush the retail investor, to get me and you out. That's what this is all about. Now, I wanted to share this video with you yesterday, but I actually forgot to include it in yesterday's video, so I'm going to play it for you now. This is Brad Garlinghouse, and he very rarely makes videos, so take a listen.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. As many of you know, I don't often make videos like this, but then again, not every week has been like this one. A few days ago, after 2 years, 7 court orders, and over $100 million in legal bills, the Hinman speech documents, including internal SEC emails and comments leading up to this now infamous 2018 speech, they've finally been unsealed. Hinman's speech created new factors to determine if a token becomes sufficiently decentralized to no longer be considered a security. At best, these documents show that senior officials at the SEC couldn't agree on the law and told Bill Hinman directly he would confuse the public even more about the rules for crypto. At worst, they show that Hinman deliberately ignored the law, and he tried to create new laws, something only Congress can do. And while he was a public servant, Hinman received millions of dollars of payments from his law firm, which was part of an alliance with others that had a vested interest in this speech. This speech isn't about any one token or any one blockchain. This is about showing the extent to which the SEC has relentlessly pursued enforcement actions against crypto players while professing fake open arms and calls to come in and register, all the while lying about their so-called guidance. As some of you may know, Ripple spent years proactively engaging with the SEC. I personally met with Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman with no lawyer present. Why would I need a lawyer if we were all coming together in good faith?
Take notice how he went in there and he was being fully transparent. And that's what I've been saying for quite a while. But there was a coordinated attack against Ripple. There was so many players involved at the same time. So let's continue.
We answered every question they had, and not once did they suggest to me that XRP was a security. We were fully transparent, not knowing they would then use this information against us. The SEC hit us with a surprise Wells notice saying they were considering suing us for breaking securities laws and still refused to provide specifics. To those that have recently been hit with their own Wells notices and lawsuits, this likely sounds all too familiar. When the lawsuit did drop against us, days before Christmas, a very Grinch-like touch, they made it personal. They sued Chris Larson and they sued myself, alleging we should have known all along that XRP was a security. You can now see plain as day, they couldn't even agree amongst themselves. And to me, it still seems like they can't.
You know, in 2022, it was even more unclear than it is right now that they have no law put in place back then either around securities. They didn't even know how to talk about crypto back then. But it was because a lot of money was changing hands. That's what got Ripple tied up into this lawsuit.
What we saw play out in our case is exactly what's still happening. The SEC is looking to kill crypto innovation in the United States, and its current chair, an unelected bureaucrat, I might add, is weaponizing the lack of regulatory clarity to exert jurisdiction over the entire crypto space. This is the definition of putting politics over people. It's the pursuit of power over sound policy. The SEC tried to bully us into acquiescing. Thankfully, we have had the resources to fight back. And now we can all see what they've fought so hard to hide. They knowingly created confusion about the rules, and they used that confusion to regulate through enforcement. That's bad faith, plain and simple. Ultimately, as our lawsuit comes to a close, for so many others, it's just starting. The fight for clarity has to continue. I'm just going to conclude by saying to my colleagues here at Ripple, to my family, my friends, everyone who has supported us over the past 2.5 years, and certainly to the whole of the XRP Army, a very heartfelt and a very genuine thank you for that support.
You know, if Ripple did not have the resources to fight back against the SEC, we would have had no clue what was really going on behind the scenes. We would have had no clue about all that corruption happening. But thanks to Ripple fighting back for over 2 years now and spending $200 million, we now have answers to what was really going on. And I think now we need investigations into every one of these people because it crushed the retail investor back in 2020. You know, most people left and never came back. I cannot stress that enough. So for years, the sleuths have been sleuthing and the community has been researching. So why does it feel like we are barely scratching the surface of Ethereum Gate? The names and entities involved go on and on. And look at the names there: JP Morgan, Consensus, Prometheum, Wang Zhang, CCP, SEC, ETH, Swiss, Vitalik Buterin, Joseph Lubin, Aaron Kaplan, Bill Hinman, Jay Clayton, Michael Seaman, Valerie Smanik, Gary Gensler, Jeff Sprecher, Bakkt, ICE, Coinbase, Elizabeth Warren, EEA, Yi Tank, Stephen Nereoff, Alibaba, Simpson Thatcher, Ethereum Foundation, Sullivan and Cromwell, FTX, SBF, Caroline Ellison, Maxine Waters, and there's other names as well. And I think you could still add Jed McCaleb to that list as well, because he was backing the same companies that were tied into this. And you know, we would have never knew about all of this. And I think FTX fell at that specific time for a reason. And I'm going to talk about that in this video as well. I think it's likely we may never see a wipeout of crypto similar to the dot-com bubble. Why not? Cryptocurrencies are not companies. They don't go bankrupt. But I think it's likely most will be consolidated into a few winners and slowly bleed out. And that's why I'm saying, you know, when I talk about the 99% of crypto disappearing, we've seen the same thing happen with the dot-com bubble. And other people agree with this. Now, listen to Lehman Baird from over at Hedera.
Typically, the history of any kind of market is that you have this enormous springing up of thousands and thousands of companies, and then you have a crash, and then you get down to 3 or 4, whatever, big companies that continue on. And that's the way every revolution tends to happen, I'm sure.
And that's what we're going to see happen in the fourth industrial revolution around crypto. Because right now we have thousands and thousands of cryptocurrencies. What we're going to be left with at the end of all of this is maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, the ISO coins, and a few others. And that's going to be about it. Yep, with over 21,000 crypto token projects, the idea that you can defeat the central bankers with Bitcoin or a privacy alternative is laughable. Winners will be ISO 222 compliant and or CBDC and money transfer projects, and tokenization and AI projects will most likely succeed as well. But it's true, anybody out there who's still trying to sell the idea that Bitcoin is the future, they're totally delusional at this point, because even Bitcoin will not survive what's coming, in my opinion. Billionaire investor Mark Cuban warns 99% of crypto assets will fail, says winners will be game changers. And I think that's what's going to happen. If you're holding these ISO coins, you are going to be rich beyond your wildest dreams, because they're going to hit numbers that people couldn't even imagine them hitting in the future because of utility and use case. XRP crypto to be accepted for gas on experimental EVM compatible blockchain. Now this is big news also, and I forgot to talk about this as well in yesterday's video. So validators and stakers of Root Network, an upcoming cross-chain platform, will soon be able to get rewarded in XRP tokens. Such statements was made by community enthusiast Dip Collector on Twitter amid discussion about the potential of XRP Ledger sidechains. The Root Network is a very advanced blockchain based on substrate that is EVM compatible, uses XRP as the gas token, with Root as the native token, which will mainly be used as staking token to secure the network, and for governance, staking rewards will be paid out in XRP. You know, it's project after project, and they're utilizing XRP as well along the way. I just talked about it in yesterday's video, a game where you can actually earn XRP. This is still going to expand out and grow over time. But today's video, I wanted to talk about the 2024 election a little bit. And the reason I did that, because it's going to be an exciting time for crypto investors. And we're going to see the impact crypto can have in the real world once again in a political election. Also, I wanted to talk about that video that Brad made, because, you know, if Ripple never fought back, could you imagine where we would be right now with crypto? Oh my God, every single company would be under Gary's thumb. But because Ripple is fighting back, they're putting a hold on some major announcements. You know, the SEC's too busy working on the Ripple case and working now on Coinbase and Binance, which I think Coinbase is going to win. Binance, however, they're going to continue to drag that out as long as possible, allowing Coinbase to get ahead somehow. That's what I see around that. Let me know what your opinion is. Put it in the comments section down below. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.